Welcome. It is March 13th, 2023, and we had a fairly volatile day. It was a pretty interesting day. A little bit more than I expected. I don't have a lot of experience with these kind of like economic events when it comes to basically the bank closures and the panic. So let's start with the daily. This is the daily. This is still the March contract I have up. I don't have the continuous contract up. I'm going to update it today, hopefully. But going into the session last night, we grinded up higher till we were just shy of the previous day's high. And everyone got short up in there versus basically 112, 110. And it rolled over in Globex. And then coming into the open, it basically bottomed prior to market open and before Biden was speaking. So this is kind of an interesting example, just because the range of this day was, about 450 points total from Globex high to Globex low, which is insane. And even during the day, the candles were very, very big. And it was wild. It was a wild day. So let's kind of talk about Globex here. So this is the Globex open, just on the 5 minutes chart. Basically, I was theorizing either we reject the 925 area and roll over, come down, break the 800 and sell down to 705, 650 maybe, or we hold. I was thinking actually 840. It didn't actually come to 840. These levels are updated from Globex. So I don't think I have the previous ones up right now, but I did have a level at 55 and 40 is kind of what I was thinking. So I was thinking holds that and clears this previous high. It closes about, we'll get maybe a little bit of a squeeze higher into 20 basically, right? And that's kind of where I was looking for a short. And 20 offered a lot of good points a couple of times. We had a little bit of an overshoot, right? But it kind of got sold and then rolled over immediately. Came down. Let's go to the 1 just to see a little bit better. So basically it rolled over. It reclaimed. So you have a potential long there. Like if you got long on the reclaim, pretty close to 980, risking say 12 to 15. Risking to that low is a lot. So I'm not too interested in that. Basically my theory is if you try a long at 980 on a reclaim, I'll risk a fixed amount and I want to see price step up and hold above the level. And it did basically right away. They tried to push it down, right? It got pops, and then it failed to sell and it squeezed back up into 20. So a nice 20-point move there on a reclaim. And you could have tried short anywhere in here, risking versus previous high, right? So if you short 20, you just got to be aware that it can still go another 25 points higher, right? So something like this is actually better. When you see this stiff rejection, just put an order in and then put your stop above. Then you're only risking 15, 16 points and not so bad, right? And then what I would be looking for is to see, is it going to make potentially a higher low? Is it going to retest 80 again and hold above? If it does roll over, I would be looking for the next level down. And it pretty much did it. We were about 10 points shy, which is not bad. So if you got short into 20, you got basically 80 points, 60 points. So not bad. I think it's about 80. And you'd probably take profit anyways, right? So same thing. You can try longs in here, or longs in the reclaim, right? It popped up, retested, reclaimed, another 20 points, and basically any of the shorts off of 20 provided some points. And then later on in the session, we come down, we made a higher low over this, right? So anyone getting along in here is basically risking versus these lows. So they're risking about 16 points, maybe a little bit more. It makes sense to make the higher low, and then it has this downtrend line. It kind of breaks, right? Kind of like that, and then we get that squeeze up into the next level. And I didn't think it would go past 75, but again, I didn't have the 105 level. I did have the 75 level, and it basically double tops here just before London, and then after London, it's straight sell. So again, same idea. If bullish, it's going to hold above 20. It broke, reclaimed, and then failed to make a higher high, and then it basically rolled over after that, before finding support at 860, which was the Globex Open, basically. Little rally, 100-point rally. Rejected 1200, 980 kind of level, and then it sold immensely into Biden speaking. So it gave a nice 300-point sell into Biden. So if you got short in pre-market, you did really well. So yeah, lots of volatility. This kind of stuff is tough to play because the moves are very wild. You got to be very well positioned. Like for me today, I had a really hard time. My stops were just too tight. Like usually I can do a 12 to 15 point stop. And lots of times my theses were right, but the overshoots in my levels, like they're overshooting by quite a bit, and kept taking me out a little bit. So I hit my max loss of 3 in a row, and then I paper traded a little bit. And then as I was paper trading, I actually would have got back to green as I widened my stops, and my ideas were quite okay. But anyways, not a big deal. That's what max loss is there, is to protect you from going down a rabbit hole, right? Okay, so let's look at RTH now. Okay, so RTH, we had the possible continuation off the open, right? We held 750, right? So, if you got long on 750, you got a nice quick 50. And then it almost closes the gap here, right? It pops up and then sells. So you could have got a short here at 800, and it went a nice 2-level move, right? So if I got short into here, and we've already tested this a couple times, I'm not looking to take profits here. I'm looking for the next level, right? Because all of the morning buyers are going to turn into sellers when that breaks. And then our low from pre-market was around here. I think was it 650? Where did it go? Oh, it was a little lower, 675. So, but the full candle close was above. Okay. So again, comes down here, tests again. So another continuation short, but you're getting really close to you're getting really close to the rollover, right? And then it holds, stops are above here, pops above, squeezes, the rest of the stops are above here, pops above and holds, squeezes. And then next thing you know, we are clearing the previous day's close right around here in this area. The gap is filled, and then mega consolidation with wide range. So in here, basically, you can play it, but you gotta really believe in your position, right? So if you're longing 60, you basically have to risk versus this, right? So this is where I was filling, risking 12 points, stop out. Try it, try it again, stop out. Should have just waited for the clear, and then it would have been okay, but oh well, it's okay. So yeah, basically here, my level probably is off a little bit. There probably should have been still an 840, right? Or 845 even. Somewhere in there, if I would have filled it around there, 850 maybe, that would have been a little bit better, and I wouldn't have suffered too much drawdown. But yeah, basically consolidation, continuation pattern, right? Fails to break out, reject it. But buyer step in immediately, right? Risking versus that previous low. Fails to break out, can roll over. That comes down here, doesn't roll over. And let's look at VWAP. Where's VWAP? So finally it comes back, gives VWAP that little tag and the lows here. So orders are sitting in here, risking versus this low. And then it's basically an immediate 100-point squeeze, 120 points right up into here and then more. So, and then same thing, comes up to 75, rejection, right? So this is the 75 actually called high a day. And again, same thing, very resilient, right? Like double tests here, comes down, breaks, buyers try to step in, rejects. To me, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to roll. Buyers step in, comes back up and kind of makes the lower high versus 75 and then rolls. Finds support on VWAP and the 925 area again. Squeeze, double tops it basically, right? So I was thinking for sure we were going to go after this. I was long with paper, mind you, because I was at max loss. I was long at 980 after the reclaim because I saw this higher high and then I bought the dip. I think I filled at 86 or something, risking down to here, like 72. Added it on the 20 cross and then sold into 75. And then I was looking for more. I did try long 20 again, but it failed to break out. It ended up just flattening me, right? This kind of price action is tough. And then I was thinking, if we don't break 75 on this try in here, we'll probably sell into the end of the day, and that's what we did. But not too much, but a decent amount. Anyways, yeah, so that's kind of the day. Like the levels are pretty good. They all provided a little bit of alpha, I guess. The 20 could have been lost. Like 20 was okay in overnight, but now it's basically bouncing versus these. I'm still having trouble deciding which levels to delete. Because they like I say, they all provided relevance. 800, solid rejection. 750, solid rejection, lots of tests. 705, low a day, pushes up, and then consolidates around here. So this 860 could have been 850, I think would have been best, right? Or 840. I tried to do it in fives at least, but basically in there. 925 I think was okay. Could have been 930, but I think it was relevant in pre-market, so not too worried. 75 was good, and so on and so forth. And if we pull up a normal contract, let's pull up the continuous. It's kind of similar, right? So it's got 925 as the rejection. I didn't have low at 820. In here, the consolidation is about the same drawdown. Not quite getting the fills here. 195 basically calls high a day. 195 to 200-ish. So not as good, but still not bad. What was NQ futures March? I had already deleted it from here. So anyways, yeah, so very volatile day. Like, these ranges are insane. That's why I recommend the max loss. You know, I wasn't really prepared for this kind of volatility, and tomorrow will be just as crazy. So, pretty interesting. And yeah, lots of good setups. You know, but hard, trappy, very difficult. So let's see what CPI brings tomorrow. Let's look at the daily, but let's look at the continuous contract. So we had an outside day, right? Oh no, we didn't quite take out that high. So, technically it's like a candle down, but failed to hold below 832, reclaimed, and then squeeze up, right? So tomorrow I'll be looking for a break up or down of the range, and then I'll be looking to the smaller time frames like the mass, like the hourly, right? So we're making slow downtrends still lower highs and lower lows, lower highs. So I'm kind of waiting to see, you know, if we make a higher high here, we might get some pushback up into 350. You know, maybe even back up in here. If CPI is soft, who knows? If it's bad, we could see. Let's look at the weekly. If it's bad, you could see the break of this and the rollover is what I'm thinking. Or, you know, maybe we come down and retest that area is kind of what I'm thinking maybe could happen. If we clear the previous day's high, we might see a pop. If we clear this high, we might see back up into this, which would be okay. I like down first. You know, I wouldn't mind if it came back. Try one more time to make a higher high, fail, come down, take out these buyers, and roll over. But I don't know if that'll happen. So just have to watch the charts. But basically, like if you're looking for 30-40 points a day, you know, you could have got 30-40 points in like one candle today. So crazy. Anyways, that's it. Have a good night.